Hello, Nick Park from Evangelical Alliance here, and I wanted to give a quick video explainer on the new legislation announced by the government in the emergency COVID-19 legislation, which comes into force at midnight tonight. That's Tuesday, 15th of September. For church services, essentially things remain the same for now. We're going to be under a system where there are 5 levels of threat which will be applied on a regional or a county basis. And at the moment, all of the country is on level 2. And under level 2, where it's like where we are now, churches can meet as normal in number, obviously with 2-meter physical distancing and sanitizing, and to a limit of 50 people. However, there is a special protocol in place that more than 50 can meet if the building is large enough and if people can be seated in zones of 50. Now, this is a rather convoluted protocol, so basically you have to have separate zones of 50 people. They again are still distanced by the 2 meters. Each zone needs to be separated by a 4-meter buffer zone between each zone. So let's say you have zone A and zone B. There has to be a 4-meter zone in between them. Each zone has to use a separate entrance and exit. Also, you cannot pass through one zone to get to another. So you can't have a building where you have people coming in, passing through zone A and filling up zone B, and then once it's full, you start to fill up zone A. So there can be no passing through, anyone passing from one zone to the other, or passing through one zone to get to another zone. Now, there is an issue here that we are going to be raising with government, because it appears that these restrictions about the zones, while they are being applied to churches, are not being applied to conferences. And we are going to be raising that issue and trying to get clarification from the government on that, why extra burdens and restrictions are being placed on churches that are not being placed on conferences up to 100 people. However, that's where we are now with church services. Now, if for your region or your county, it's elevated to level 3, 4, or 5. All of those levels, basically levels 3, 4, and 5, church services will be prohibited, can only be online services. We don't see that there's any requirement, if that happens, that they have to be filmed in your home. So you should be able to take a worship team and a preacher in. If you are in level 3, level 4, level 5, you should be able to take a worship team or a preacher into your church building and, still maintaining distancing, film your online service there to then present to the public and your general congregation in an online format. Having said that, there is also the fact that church buildings will, under levels 3, 4, and 5, still be allowed to open for private prayers. So individuals will still be able to come into a church and pray privately during the day. Now, another issue that obviously affects us as churches is home groups. And basically, home groups are almost impossible to maintain under the current legislation and this new legislation as well. Because inside a home, you're only allowed a maximum of 6 people who can come from a maximum of 3 households. And if you go on to level 2, that's narrowed down to 2 households. That's 6 people. And once you get into levels 4 and 5, you're not actually allowed to have anybody from other households coming in your home. And by the way, those regulations apply to meetings in the garden of your house as well as indoors as well. However, if you structure your home group as a church service, you can still therefore hold a home group in the church building. And that then, of course, has a maximum capacity of 50 people. So again, face masks and face coverings are highly recommended by government, but are not yet a legal requirement. So they are recommended, but not legally required. Again, if you have any further difficulties with understanding how this regulation affects you and your church, please don't hesitate to contact me, nick@evangelical.ie, and I will try to, I'll give you a call if I need to and try to talk through your own particular situation. But this is going to demand flexibility of us. If, as the medical experts expect, cases are going to increase, and as we get into winter, it may well be that we have counties and regions being elevated to level 3 and above. And of course, as a pastor myself, I know how difficult this is, because it can be just as an announcement on the TV, 5 o'clock, and it comes into force at midnight. So you can have a Friday afternoon announcement that basically changes all of your plans for Sunday. Again, please do not hesitate to get in touch with us if you need more clarification on any of this. But we are working as Evangelical Alliance to try to keep you informed and to try to encourage the government to pass legislation which is sympathetic to the needs of churches while still protecting public health. May God be with you, and may God grant you the wisdom that you need to serve him at this time, and may God especially give wisdom to church leaders who often are having to make difficult situations at very short notice. God bless you.